Hey guys, it's Trish from Trish's Card Club, live from Hickson, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Where am I? I am in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Technically Hickson, but close enough, close enough. How are you guys? I hope you're doing good. It's Monday night, and it's video night, and it's been a while since I've done a video, so I was like, I cannot wait to do my video tonight. So I have to tell you, I've been watching a couple different demonstrators, and there are two demonstrators in particular whose videos are so outstanding. And when I think about what makes them outstanding is the fact that they speak slowly and concise. Hey, Miss Judy. And they don't, hey, Mary. They don't look for their words. They're just calm, cool, and collected. And I'm just like blah, 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 blah. So I was talking to my friend Karen about it, and I said, Karen, I think sometimes I get nervous. And I think that's why. And then once I miss a word, it makes me even worse. So let's just see if I can focus on not being nervous. You're all my friends, and see if I can get through this video tonight. So a couple of quick updates before we do the video. I just sent out my email for another email for the month of June because I wanted to follow up from the Zoom meeting, which was, I thought was really, really good. I had a great time. I loved seeing everybody. Hey, Miss Patty, the card, it came out. I had a little mix up there, but thank you, Judy. You are so sweet. But I had a little hiccup, but I caught myself, figured it out. Everyone made it through the card, so that was really good. So I enjoyed it very, very much, and I hope that everyone that came did too. So I sent out an email with a sketch of what we're going to do for the month of July, because I was wrong. I am going to be here in the month of July. It's the month of August that I'm not going to be here. So we'll do a sketch card for the month of July. I've already sent it out. If you have questions about it, you always can shoot me an email or text me or whatever if you're not exactly sure what to do with it. But it's going to be fun to see everybody's interpretation of that sketch card. So Judy, you and Shannon do that card even if you don't come to Zoom, and send me a picture, because I want to see what you girls come up with, because I know you're very creative. No pressure, no pressure. So that was one thing. No Zoom in August because Stampin'UP is doing a live event for the first time in 3 years. And I'm excited to be able to go. It's in New Orleans, which doesn't thrill me, but it's okay. It's all right. It'll work out. New Orleans is just not like my favorite city. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Las Vegas. It's like a little sketchy. But they say the food is amazing. It's not. I've been there. And I'm not going down to French Quarters or anything like that. That stuff doesn't interest me. So, hey, Anna, thank you very much. I have to tell you guys a little funny story. Last night, my younger brother John texts. We have a siblings line, and he texted and asked if anybody remembered what my dad called my grandfather, my mom's mother, because my grandfather lived with us for a big chunk of my life. And of course, that we went back and forth, and then my sister Anne-Marie put a post up that the house that we grew up in is for sale. So then that just brought a whole bunch of memories and a whole way too late of texting back and forth. So anyways, it was fun. It brought back a lot of memories. It was fun to play with. So I know there's something else on that email, and I can't remember what it is. But it doesn't matter. If you got my email, you can read it when you have time. Tonight's card is inspired by a lot of people online. This is a technique that's very popular right now. You might have already seen it. I watched several different videos of it, but one video in particular called Stamp with Lorraine. She was fantastic. Fantastic. She was one of the demonstrators that I talked about that was very methodical, very concise in her words. She did such a good job. So she was a pleasure to watch. And I got a lot of tips from her that I'm going to share with you guys. And then, oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to tell you. I did bingo not once but twice this past weekend. I did a bingo on Friday night, and I did a bingo on Saturday night. 2 different groups of ladies. Excellent for both times. I won on the second night. I was kind of excited. I won some Designer Series paper, which happens to be this Designer Series paper. It's the Butterfly Kisses Designer Series paper, and some cardstock. So that'll come in the mail, my little present, and I'm excited about that. I think that's it. I think we're just going to get to the card. So it's a very, very easy, simple card to make, and there's all kinds of renditions out there. I'm just going to do one that is super, super easy, and it's with butterflies, so people, I think you should be very proud of me. It's just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5 and 8.5. I don't know what it is. Why can I never remember the measurements? It's 8.5 by 5.5. I think. That's not right, because it's 8.5 by 11. Well, I know this one is 4 by 5 by 5, and I know this one is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, or something like that. I should measure my stuff before I get started. So that's how the card is going to be put together. But we're going to tear the card and make a roll out of the tear, and that's how come you can't really mail this card, because the tear, it gets up too thick. So I'm going to put this aside for now. Now these are some of the tricks that I learned. If you haven't already seen this technique, you always want to tear towards you so that the paper, you can see the tear. So you always want to tear towards you. So this is what I mean. You want to tear towards you. And then you decide how much you want to tear by how much you want to show of the butterfly. And I want this blue wing of the butterfly to show, so I'm going to stop right here. There's no magic. You can keep going, you can do less, you can do more, you do whatever you want. There's no special formula to it. And how far you tear, this is why you want to have your layers first, so that you'll make sure that your DSP is going to fit on your next layer. If I knew my measurements better, I would tell them. I'll post them afterwards. I should know them. I just get nervous online. Okay, do you see how I started to tear away from me? You see how I was doing that, you guys? So I'm going to tear towards me, and then you get that nice teared effect. Okay, that's good. So that's what it is. And it doesn't have to be even or perfect or anything like that. That's not the look of it. Next thing I did, that I actually did figure this one out on my own, is I took my bone folder, and I took this torn piece of paper and I just curled it a little bit to kind of break it so it rolls easier. So I just rolled it up like that. And then some people took a pencil, some people took a paintbrush, someone took a Q-tip, which was cool, but not necessary for me. I just scrunched it down and started rolling and made it pretty tight, just to get it rolled like that. No glue or anything yet. That's just to get it rolled, so you can see how I've got it rolled up like that. See how it is, and see how cool it looks with the paper torn along the edges so that you can see it. That looks really cool like that. So then what I'm going to do, now that I've got it rolled and the fibers of the paper broken so it will stay rolled, I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to go like this and kind of just get a fair amount of glue on there. And then I'm going to glue one more time after I roll it. I got to get to the end first though. So I'm going to roll it up now. So it's all glued, so it's going to stay. And I'm doing it pretty tight. And then at the very end, see how it comes undone? Because you have to do one more glue roll right at the very end. So it rolls right into the glue, like that. Like that. Kind of cool, huh? Then you take this piece of paper and you put your glue on it. I don't know what the name of this I'm calling it a roll card. I don't really know what exactly it is. Not exactly sure what the technique is out there. So many people are doing it right now. So you might have already seen this online somewhere. So you're going to put that on there. Then you're going to take that and you're going to put that on your base card. There, like that. Doesn't that look cool? Then you take your ink. Now obviously your color under here has to be light enough that you can see the whatever stamp you use. So I used a lighter yellow to make it work. I'm using the hello stamp. I'm using a hello stamp, putting it right there. Make sure when you do it you press down enough on the end so that the O will come out, because it can kind of get stuck on there. So there's, isn't that pretty? I love that. So like I said, this is not something, if you mail it, this will just go completely flat. So mailing it's kind of not an option. You really probably want to hand deliver it. So I made this butterfly with the Butterfly Kisses dies, and I'm going to put that on with a dimensional or 2, since it's probably not going to be mailed. I want to try to get one right in the very center of that. I think I could do it without it showing. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. So since I did one on this side, you don't need 4 dimensionals. This is complete and total overkill, people. You do not need 4 dimensionals. But I'm just, since I already put 2 on there, I'm just making it even so it'll stay down. Now I'm going to put this right here. Put the wings up a little. on that. There's the front of it. And then this is my inside. And I'll glue that. Put that right there. Am I on film? Too long. You know what, you guys? I wonder if I cut this paper too short. One moment, please. It's too long. I'm gonna have to trim it. Yep. But I'm gonna hand trim it. I'm not gonna. My trimmer's not here, and I'm not gonna worry about it being perfect. I just want to get it trimmed so it fits the card base. That works. No, I don't need it. Thanks, son. Ooh, let me get it up a little bit more. My husband was really sweet. He just came out and said, "You want me to hand you the cutter?" He's like, he's a really good assistant. And then look at people. Another butterfly. Now this one I'm going to glue down because I want it to. This is where I need my silicone mat, don't I? I want to glue it down because how does it go? No, it goes this way. Now there's two reasons why I did that big butterfly. So there's the card, the outside. There's the inside. When you put a big embellishment like that in there, you know, that takes up a whole bunch of writing space. You ever feel that way? You just don't know how much you want to write? That's kind of how I feel sometimes. So that will be good for that. Let's see. I know, Judy, I can't believe I'm doing butterflies either. Hey, Miss Sheila. I'm just getting so brave. It's called tear and roll. Well, thank you, Miss Anne Marie, for that technique. The tear and roll technique. Very good. Yes, Patty, I will email you the sketch. I will do that. So that's the card for tonight, you guys. Get that out of the way. Just a real simple card. Now, one other option you can do, which is really very pretty, and I didn't make up a sample. I should have made up a sample, but what a lot of people are doing is they're taking a white piece of cardstock instead of the DSP, and they're rolling it back a lot more, and they're stamping more in here, or they're even putting DSP in here, so that you have DSP, and then they're stamping on the white cardstock. So that looks really, really pretty too. If you just Google tear and roll technique, Stampin' Up, you'll get tons and tons of ideas. And then that's my little hint. If you don't want to write a lot in the card, just put a big embellishment or a big stamp right there, either one. But since I had my dies out, I figured I would go ahead and do that. So that is the card for tonight. I think I've said hi to everybody that came on. Thanks, Patty, for liking the card. I am in love with this paper. It's so happy and so pretty. And I think the reason it doesn't scare me is because butterflies don't come in 4 colors like that, like this. So this is so the antithesis of what a real butterfly would look like that I'm not afraid. So there, I'm growing, girls. I am growing up. All right, that's it for tonight. Let me give you a quick update on my father-in-law. I forgot to do that. As most of you know, my father-in-law was admitted to the hospital on Friday. He has cellulitis in his leg, and he also has an infection in his blood, bacterial infection in his blood, which can happen from the cellulitis. So he has been in the hospital. He was doing terrible on Saturday, but finally on Sunday he sort of turned the corner with having been on antibiotics for 48 hours intravenously, and that's helped a lot. He's his same grumpy self, so we know he's getting better. They're recommending that he go into rehab for maybe 5 to 10 days, but I don't know if he's going to do that. He's not a rehab kind of guy. Hopefully he will, because it's hard on my mother-in-law. So say a little prayer that he gets better, he gets stronger. That's why he has to go into rehab, because he doesn't have any strength. He's lost a lot of his strength from being in the hospital. So that's it. I don't have any other news. We're about 110 days away from preseason football. Okay, that does not ever leave my mind, people. That is always on the top of my mind. But we've had some fantastic golf this summer, so that's been really good. And that's sustaining me while I wait for football to start back up again. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I think that's it. I'll be back next Monday night for another round of Make It and Mail It. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.